Hello, Zio here, and today we're going to be doing a beginner's guide and tips for Fallout 76. Yeah, you heard me. Fallout 76, that Fallout. So grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, and let's get into it, shall we? Alrighty then, so you just started up Fallout 76, you've created a character and you don't know what to do or what's going on. Well, first things first, let's handle a few tips here. But go ahead and rest in your bed. Nah, seriously. Don't try not to rest in anything that is covered in fleas or whatnot, but if you rest in a bed, um resting in the bed will slowly heal you. And you rest long enough, you get a bonus. The game will naturally tell you that. But just in case you missed that particular thing, give it about 30 seconds and you should get yourself a bonus. There it is, well rested. You'll see it up in the upper right corner. But yeah, first things first, do that. Get yourself a well rested bonus. After that, pick up and play the guitar. But these are two things that you can do whenever you see a bed or a instrument. There's several laying around the wastelands, but you can rest in the bed for a bonus 5% experience gain, and you can play an instrument for a few seconds to get the well-tuned buff, which will then give you, I think, increase to AP regen. AP will get to it, but it's pretty much your stamina bar, so having more regen there is always a good thing. There we go, we got the well-tuned. And then, from there, use the terminal right next to you in your room. There's no real reason to play or be on the terminal, but if you hit the X button on your controller, there's going to be a thing at the bottom of the screen telling you what to do. You can eject the holotape. That holotape is a minigame that you can use on your Pip-Boy and or on other terminals. So if you get bored and need something to do, you can use it. But after you're done with that, go ahead and grab your Pip-Boy, and it's time to move along. Now, if you actually open up your Pip-Boy, it's probably going to look like this. You can change the way it comes up. It's up to you. But you can scroll over here to the effects and actually see what you did here. Well rested gives you a plus 5% experience for 2 hours, while well tuned for an hour gives you AP plus 25 regen, which is always a nice thing to have. From there, it's going to be simple. It is eviction day in the vault, and you're heading out. So, what you need to do is walk around to the thingies and grab stuff. So, you can follow the signs, it will take you where you need to go. But also, you need to go to the Overseer's office. So, go ahead and grab the stuff. Grab the stim packs and everything. Grab the supplies. Now, this is pretty easy to miss. Your very first thing is Reclamation Day. Discover the Overseer's mission. You could follow the thingies here and head on out the vault, but pop on over here to at least do that real quick. You go ahead and use the Overseer's terminal. Go ahead and play the thing. Or, you know, I can do that. I'm going to eject the holotape. Now we have that, and your new mission is to leave the vault from there. So it's pretty easy to miss because everything kind of directs you away from it. And I know the first time I did this and Chad did this, we both kind of went past it, not realizing we were supposed to go in there. But yeah, go ahead and grab the things if you want. Hit sliding door. And head on out. As you head out, you're going to be prompted with this screen right here. Now, if you look at it, it tells you the best choice is level 20 battle ready dweller. If this is your first time playing Fallout 76, which I assume you are if you're here for the beginner guide / tips on what to do first thing, I would advise picking a fresh dweller. Now, the reason this is because enemies and things are they're at your level. So if you're level 20, your enemies are level 20. And there are areas where enemies are much higher level. So those are kind of areas you don't want to go to, but most of the enemies are going to be at your level. You're level 5, the enemies are level 5, so on and so forth. And the same thing with 20. If it's your first time, you probably don't want to go straight out with a level 20 facing level 20 things. But if you do, the choice is here. And it goes ahead and it automatically sets up special attributes, which are your stats, into particular things, kind of forcing you into a certain thing like automatic rifles, two-hand pistols, shotguns, or VAT usage. Now, you are unable to change that stat attributes that they give you for the specials until level 25, in which then you can go to a particular machine and swap them out, change them around, and stuff like that. This is why, as a new starting player, I suggest the fresh dweller. With this, you are going to be given the same thing. You're picking essentially where your first stat point is going for level 2. So, first aid, gunslinger, action, inspiration, and slugger. So then you just need to pick whichever one you like. And I think I will go with first aid, just for the fun of it. And from there, we'll be outside the vault, and we can start this beginner's guide. Alright, now you have stepped out of the vault for the first time, and this is pretty much what you're greeted with. You will talk to Pennington here, who will then tell you to talk to them, who will then send you to Wayward or wherever. So, here's the first things of what you need to do to acclimate yourself to the Appalachian Mountains. Over in the bottom left corner of the screen is your HP bar. Keep an eye on that. If it hits 0, you die. Here at the bottom of the screen is your compass. As you can see, it is on S right now, meaning I am facing south, west, north, and then east. Now, if you look on the compass, various things will pop up, like there are some buildings over in this direction. As you get closer to things, certain things will pop in and out. There's the Fallout 76, there's Vault 76, so on and so forth. So keep an eye on your compass. You can also place pins down on the map if you want it to. Like, pop that. And now that pin is on the compass, which tells you pretty much where you need to go to, so you can follow that, and it helps getting around. On the right side over here is your AP. That is your stamina. It is also governed by a system known as VATS, which we'll have to find some enemies to actually show that off. But that is your stamina in the bottom right bar. As you sprint, it will go down, and then it will automatically fill up. Now, as we pause, you'll notice also above that bar is a food and hunger meter. Now, while you are well fed and stuff, fully fed, fully hydrated, you will get additional bonuses. However, there is no negative effects to starving or being thirsty. So as that goes down, if for whatever reason you can't find food or drink or anything to top that back up, you will not experience any negative effects. That was a function of old Fallout 76, but apparently they have removed that, so there is no penalty for being starving or thirsty. However, if you are fully full and well hydrated and stuff, you will have additional stats that are given to you. You can go ahead and you can pop on over and look at what your actual stats are in game. As you can see, we got 2 strength, 2 endurance, 2 intelligence, and strength and endurance comes from being fed and hydrated. And move over and you can see collections, which is various currencies, like for instance caps, which is the major currency similar to gold or something like that in a lot of games for you to buy things from in-game vendors and stuff, as well as other things like overseer tickets, gold bullion, tadpole badges, possum badges, legendary scripts, which are used for more advanced things. Now from there you can pop on over and you can find all the items that you have. You can favorite items as well. And if you're using a controller, if you're pressing, say, up when you're right here, you can actually bring up your favorites tab and actually go and equip things. You can press the left D-pad, and it will swap between the last 2 weapons that you had, which is nice if you want to have a melee weapon equipped in case you run out of ammo, so you can do the stabby real quick. Now, I don't know what the controls are on computer, so I highly encourage for you to hit the pause button, which I think is going to be escape, and bring up the menu here and go down to settings. From there you can look at the controls and actually see what controls do what in the game. This way it makes it much easier for you to maneuver around all these things. But since we're here and all, this is the map. You can zoom it in, you can zoom it out, you can put a marker, you can remove the marker, and you can do a thing known as fast travel by clicking on a space. So, if you were to click Vault here, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm standing out in front of it, you can fast travel to it. Fast travel uses caps. However, certain places do not, like Vault 76 and your camp, which the game will prompt you into teaching you how that is built and everything. Just follow the main campaign downward, and you will be able to fast travel to your camp, Vault 76, and a few other locations for free without spending caps, so keep that in mind. You can also travel to player camps if they're in a party with you, or other people who are in your party for free as well. The next tip, real quick, is to open up your social menu. From here, you will see your friends, your team, stuff like that, creating teams, and or teams that you can join, essentially. My tip is to join or create a casual team. By doing this, you gain bonus intelligence for being on that team. That's it. That's the tip of the day right there, is to join a team, create it yourself, be on the team. Even if you're on the team by yourself, you still get the bonus for being on that team. And as you can see, I've now got another plus in here. I've got a +1 into the intelligence stat. Now, this is your specials. We'll go into it when we level up. Let's go ahead and just follow this real quick for the next tip. In random locations, there are things known as donation box. And those donation box usually are items that you can use. Grab them. They're for free. Anybody can use them. They will sort of regenerate too after so long. And other players can apparently put items into it for newbies to use. And this is the first time I've seen one that only has a baseball grenade in it. So I guess somebody recently came through. Now we're going to skip this and be right back to it. Now, if you've played any Fallout in the series, this game's controls aren't going to feel anything different. You will be probably taken back by VATS and how VATS works. In other Fallout games, when you utilize VATS, it freezes the game, giving you time to do stuff, as well as being in the pit boy and things like that. In this game, being a multiplayer game, none of that works. Everything is still going, even though you're in the pit boy, and even when you're in VATS, it is all in real time. Keep that in mind. Now, I've never been one who ever really used VATs for the most part, but as you can see, it is in real time. They do not freeze, and well, there you go. And I cannot shoot now. Oh gosh, I feel like the guy who did the Doom tutorial. Anyway, next step here is looting corpses. As you can look, you can go ahead and you can take a look at all the corpses individually. But somebody in this game decided, hey, what would be neat is if you could loot all nearby corpses, which is great. You can hit a button, loot all of these corpses at once, and you won't have to loot each one individually. Another thing of note is ammo. The way this game works is whatever weapon you're using, that ammo typically drops off of the bodies, and that is the ammo that you generally find in a lot of ammo containers, as well as, you know, other ammo as well in there, but that's the primary one that you're going to find. Since we're using a 10mm pistol, we will be finding more 10mm rounds, which helps with the whole ammo issue. So realistically, unless you're just spraying and praying and never looting anything, you should be able to manage your ammo pretty decently. Now, we started with 500 ammo, I believe. We're at 499, and I only found ammo on the one ghoul right here. So, yeah, I essentially got back most of what I used in that encounter. And if you're exploring, looking around and stuff like that and in boxes, you're probably going to be topped off in ammo with whatever your main weapon is. So keep that in mind as well. You won't normally have to buy ammo or craft it unless you're just not really looting anything. Now maybe that might be a little bit different in in-game, but you're going to have way more you know, things available to you at in-game. Really? Ooh, a machete. Now. Oh, with that, I will see you when we get to Wayward. Okay, so we have made it to Wayward, and while we're at it, we did level up. So, my next tip for you in getting your journey started here is to, of course, make your way to Wayward here. That's where your main quest is going to take you, starting off. Visit the Wayward. It's going to have you do some stuff. You're going to help these people out. You're going to go find the Overseer, all that good jazz. But before then, you're going to find things like these vending machines. My tip for you is to not use them. Like, no joke. Apparently these things like to rip you off. If you are going to use a vending machine, I suggest looking for a player camp with a vending machine. Continue playing. Anyway. And if you can find something that is out there publicly, you know, on there, you can go find somebody who might be selling stuff, especially if you're looking for like ammo or something like that. It's going to be a lot cheaper, usually, from a player. It's an actual vendor, and by the way, if you're a player, you can have your own vendor and sell things for caps, which is always a nice thing. But yeah, avoid the ammo machines. It's not worth doing. Now, if you did pick level 20, there is a setting that you might want to check real quick. Let's see. Is it somewhere down here? You can also turn the visibility of your backpack and stuff on and off here. You can turn off and on aim assist, as well as various other things. You can turn intense weather effects off so you're not seeing it. Let's see, where is it? There it is, pacifist mode. Now, if you chose to come out as level 1 dweller to level 2, pacifist mode is already on for you. It will remain active until you turn it off. When you hit level 5, you'll be able to turn this off. If you started at level 20, I don't know if it's defaultly on or off for you because I haven't actually done that. But come and check it anyway. What this does is it pretty much flags you for PvP or not. If it is on, people can't shoot you and kill you and so on and so forth. And if it's off, well, they can. They can shoot you in the head and take your scrap from you. When you die, which is another thing we should go over real quick. When you die, what do you drop? Pretty much anything that is under this right here. This junk menu here is what you pretty much drop on death. It will drop in a little bag, and then, you know, it can be picked up. So that's what happens when you die. When you die, you can respawn. You can respawn kind of close, or, you know, depending on where you died and what name locations you have on the map, you'll respawn at that location. And before we finish up, we leveled up. So what do we do there? At the bottom of the screen, you can see it says level up 1. So 1 level up. You hit the button and it brings you to this screen here. What makes you special? Now, each one of these things correspond to different attributes. Like, for instance, strength is best when it is something to focus on when it comes to carrying a lot of weight. It increases the carry weight that you can actually take. So real quick, let me pop over here to items. In the bottom left of the screen, you can see a carry weight 91 of 65. That increases more strength you have. So strength, of course, is what you can carry. It also attributes to things like two-handed melee weapons, one-handed melee weapons, punching enemies, weight of all chems are reduced, that sort of thing. It can also be used to intimidate people in conversations as well as other stuff. Perception here, the quick overall thing of this is it just deals with the accuracy and VATS, your ability to detect stealthy movement, your awareness of other enemies, and it's also the thing if you want to use a rifle of some kind, whether it's an automatic or a bow or a non-automatic rifle. This is usually the perk, or this is usually the stat that corresponds with it. Find extra meat, things like that. Endurance increases your health and your resistances to disease, and pretty much your overall fitness, right? So it also handles things like perks that cause you to not take as much radiation when eating food or drinking things like that. Charisma is, you know, conversational starter stuff. The higher perks you got in charisma, you have various cards at your disposal when using this. Also, I think at like level 3, 6, and 9 in charisma, you can share a perk card that you have, which are these cards right here, with the rest of your team. So if you've got something, you can share it. It applies to the rest of your team depending on the level of the card and how many points you have in charisma. And of course, with it, you can get cards like inspirational when you're on a team with others, gain 5 more experience, things like that. Intelligence. Intelligence is a big one because it deals with your XP gain. This also has a lot to do with when it comes to scientific stuff. So anything like laser rifles, plasma rifles, they're kind of governed by intelligence, as well as hacking terminals. What I forgot to mention about perception was perception is the one when it comes to picking locks. So if you want to pick locks, invest into perception for that. But if you want to hack computers, invest into intelligence. And of course, the more intelligence you have, the more experience you gain as you're doing things around in the waste. And of course, that's where we originally got 1 point. So we've got a +2, or we've got 2 in intelligence right now. Agility here is your action points. It governs how much action points you have, but the weapons that it governs are pistols and the like. So, you know, if you want to be stealthy, because there's stealth cards and things that increase your ability to be stealthy, things like that. Pistols, gunslinger like this here, non-automatic pistols, and stuff is governed by this particular perk right here, or this particular special here. And meanwhile, luck is a little bit of everything, right? It affects the durability of items you get, your crit hits, the condition of the weapons, things you find, items, more caps, things like that. But it also gives you various cards, perks here that you can use to find extra ammo in ammo containers, or find extra first aid chems and chem containers, things like that. So it's a very nice thing to have as well. So in general, what you want to do is sort of fill around with the weapons, right? See what feels like something that would be you, and kind of go into that area, as well as, of course, upping your intelligence for more experience gained if you want to. But we can go ahead and we'll do this. We'll grab the one-handed, because I'm going to go around knifing things. Now when you do that, you pick a card on your level up, and it's going to go here. This is where all your cards go for your perks, and you can change these out at any time. So if you look at the top, you see I have 2 unused intelligence, 2 unused strength, and I can pop a strength and intelligence cards in those spots. If it is a level 2, the next level up, I would use 2 points instead of 1 point. If it's 1, it uses 1 point. Now, if you move up and actually bring up, you can go back and forth, and it will actually show you what all cards you have for that particular stat, so you can then immediately go down and pop it up there, and you don't have to go through every single card you own. So with strength, we'll pop gladiator in there. My knife will do some more damage now. And then above that is legendary perks. Legendary perks are locked until level 50. This is a beginner's guide, so don't worry about it. It doesn't matter to you, but apparently they're perk cards similar to what is given to you at the earlier levels here, but much better. They're better. Like you can rank them up and get like an additional +5 points into strength after you've hit the max with the legendary perk cards, so you technically have 20 in strength. The max stat that each one of these can be done through level ups up to level 50 is 15. So I hope that makes sense to you. But yeah, every few levels, I believe it's like 4, 8, and 10, something like that, you get a perk pack as well, which will give you an abundant, like 5 or 4 random perk cards. So you'll be building perk cards as you level up, as well as getting perk packs, and you can then go ahead and you can rank them up and do all sorts of funky things like that. And these are interchangeable whenever you want to. You're not locked into them at any given time. However, what you put into your attributes is locked in there until you find a punch code machine, or a punch card machine, to actually change those out, but that can't be done until level 25. That's pretty much all you need to know. Get started. This is going to be a quick guide. It wasn't going to be anything in depth, but yeah, go have fun. Enjoy the mountains of West Virginia and see what they've got going on out there, and I will see you